Hi guys, Jaywalkur here, and I'm in the Renault Twizy. This is a two-seater electric car from Renault. Is it worth your money? Let's find out.
Hello po!
I've driven a lot of cars. I've driven luxury cars. I've driven sports cars. But I haven't driven a car that attracted as much attention as the Twizy. And if you think I'm exaggerating, here's proof.
Guys, ganda! Hello po! Si Kuya Toto.
I felt like a kid again driving the Izzy. I was having fun, Bethel was having fun, and people around us were smiling and waving at us. I felt like I was spreading happiness around just by driving it. We had so much fun na feeling ko para kaming nag-road trip kahit umikot na kami ng QC. The Izzy reminds me of a French bulldog. It looks kind of tough, it looks kind of angry, but because it's so small, it also looks very cute. And that cuteness is infectious. I kind of felt cute while I was driving it. I felt like people would give me a pat on the head if I drove close enough. The car has scissor doors, which add a lot to its cool factor. The suspension is exposed. You can clearly see a McPherson strut suspension at the front and at the back. It is rear-wheel drive and it has four-wheel disc brakes. Think of the Izzy as a cross between a motorcycle and a small car. Like a car, it has four wheels, it has a steering wheel, it has a roof, and it has doors. But like a motorcycle, it is narrow enough to zip through traffic. Also, like a motorcycle, the passenger sits behind the driver instead of beside the driver. Also, it doesn't have windows. You can have windows installed, but you'll have to buy those separately. Unlike most cars and motorcycles though, the Twizy is purely battery powered. To charge it, you don't need any special equipment, you just need the power outlet. The power cable is here at the front.
Okay, so this is the interior of the Twizy. Everything is made of hard plastic. This is hard plastic. This is hard plastic. You have some storage here, and also here. This one though requires a key to open. So to start the Twizy, just put the key fob in the keyhole. To put it in drive, just press this button. This is neutral and this is reverse. Okay, so it's a two-seater, but the passenger is seated behind the driver. It doesn't have air conditioning and it doesn't have windows, but you can install aftermarket windows. The car has scissor doors. You open the door by doing that. As you can see, the bottom part of the door is glass. So this is your battery level. So I've been driving this for about 2 hours now, and I've consumed about 2 bars. Yeah, that's it. It's a very basic interior.
The Twizy has 3 storage compartments. None of them are particularly spacious, but if you don't have a passenger on board, you have enough space in the back for groceries. If you need more storage space, there are accessories that you can buy online. And you can also fabricate a mount and put a motorcycle give box on it. The Twizy is powered by a 17 horsepower electric motor. That's not a lot of power, but it is a tiny car. It can do 90 kph, so it should be possible to drive it on the highway. You can register the car. The dealership will take care of it for you, and it's going to be classified as an electric car. The car is about as long as some cars are wide, and that opens up a lot of parking opportunities. As for safety, it does come with an airbag, and it also has seat belts for both the driver and the passenger. So it may not be as safe as a normal sized car, but it's definitely a lot safer than any motorcycle. Charging time for the battery is 3.5 hours, and according to the dealership, one full charge should cost about 80 pesos, and the car can do 80 kilometers on one full charge.
Acceleration. Sagad na yan. Sige na yan.
Hindi naman ako nababasa eh.
Sige tayo dito.
Tayo singat.
Sa pagitan, no?
Diyan sa gitna, sa gitna. Diyan sa gitna.
You can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it.
Kasya ba tayo?
Yes!
Kasya?
Kasya tayo dito.
Wait lang, may dadaan. Ayun, sumingat ka. Sigat kami tara. Oh, oh.
Good! Kaya niyo ba yun? Kaya niyo ba yun? Yay! Whee! Whee!
So after about an hour of driving the Twizy, napagod yung mukha ko because I was smiling so much. It was one of the most fun cars that I've ever driven. It takes a bit of throttle input to get the car moving from a dead stop, but once you're moving, it feels fast enough, or at least it gives a good illusion of speed. 40 kph feels like 60 kph inside the Twizy because of how exposed you are to the elements. And if you step on the accelerator long enough, eventually it can do 90 kph. Eventually. Even if it doesn't have a lot of power, it feels fun to drive. It feels like a go-kart. The steering feels sharp, and it's pretty flat on the corners. It also sounds like a spaceship.
Acceleration. Sagad na yan.
The brakes feel a bit stiff at first, but once you get used to it, it's not really a problem. Okay, so we tried going through a drive-through. It's doable. You just have to be creative with where you're gonna put the food because there are no cup holders. So Bettina had to put the food on her lap. And eventually we had to throw away our drinks because we had nowhere to put them. Yeah, so driving the Izzy is an open air experience. So you might be wondering what happens if it rains. Well, we did encounter some rain while driving the Izzy. Even if it doesn't have windows, the interior is waterproof. Everything is made of plastic and waterproof materials. Also, because you have a roof, you don't get as wet. Even with a decent amount of rain, we didn't really get wet inside the Izzy. Because of how narrow it is, I could do a bit of lane splitting in the car. It feels like a large motorcycle in terms of width. That's not a lot of money for what it offers. If you want an environmentally friendly and economical mode of transport that can zip through traffic and put a smile on your face as well as everyone else's, the Twizy might be the perfect match for you. Thanks to Auto Access West Avenue for letting me borrow the Twizy. If you're interested in the Twizy, you may contact Miss Bettina or Harold. Their contact details are in the description below. Just mention that you saw Jaywalkur's video.